What's up, fellow word nerds? Thanks once again for checking in to catch up on all the dad jokes I put out last month. It's been an absolutely amazing April in terms of viewership. Half the shorts I posted got at least 1,000 views, 5 of them got over 2,000, and the channel got more views in April than in February and March combined. However, it appears most of you aren't subscribed yet, so if you like the daily dad jokes and want to keep up with every new upload, why not give that subscribe button a click? Think of it like turning on a light switch that brightens your day. That being said, here are all of April's dad jokes, and stick around for some extra announcements at the end.
Dad, can I eat the cake in the fridge? Sure, but the dining room would be more comfortable. Seems like a classic case of miscommunication. If he's letting his kid eat cake in the fridge, does that make him a cool dad? I pity the fool who made this calendar and thought this was good material for the April 1st page of all pages. I also pity the fool who thought I was Annette this whole time. April Fools! Hi, I'm Bettina, Annette's twin sister. We switched YouTube channels just for today, so be sure to check out the short and video that she narrated in my channel. I'm sure the rest of April's puns and dad jokes will be way better than this one, so please don't forget to subscribe for more. Wait for it. Bright ideas. Take care.
My wife told me that she was getting really angry at me for singing I'm a Believer on repeat. I thought she was joking. Then I saw her face. Sounds like this guy really likes to monkey around. But seriously, don't do this to people you love, else they might take the last train to Clarksville just to get away from you. Why did the DJ ride the roller coaster? He loved massive drops. Come to think of it, roller coasters and DJs have a lot in common. They need quality tracks in order to be successful, they both have their highs and their lows, and most make excellent use of speed and loops. Also, it's really fun if you put your hands in the air. Word on the street is someone dropped their Scrabble game all over the freeway. Good thing Scrabble tiles aren't all that dangerous, otherwise that could spell disaster. Still, it's wise for drivers to be cautious. You never know when somebody makes a surprise U-turn or detour. I'm drawing a blank on what other jokes I could make, but I'm sure my fellow word nerds will rack up some good ones in the comments. See ya! You didn't think I'd forget about Double Pun Day Sunday, did you? There's a new movie about tractors coming out. I just saw the trailer. From the look of things, it's a feel-good story. Though production quality looks kinda grainy. Hey, give me some credit for that one. What is Mike Tyson's favorite food? Corn. He can eat a whole ear. Holyfield, can you guess how old that reference is? 28 years. 1997. Talk about a joke full of sound and fury. If nothing about that rings a bell, look up Bite Fight Mike Tyson in your preferred search engine. That's all you get for now. Have a puntastic weekend. I don't like playing Yahtzee. It's a dicey game. I actually enjoy playing Yahtzee, when I get the chance anyway. But of all the games that involve dice, D&D is my favorite. It's a class unto itself. Now I think about it, both Yahtzee and D&D involve keeping track of numbers in sheets. May seem odd that some folks can turn bookkeeping into a game, but that's just how I roll. Which also describes people who hear my jokes. A store down the street is selling a perfume that smells like nothing. If you ask me, it's total nonsense. Who knows what they put in those things? When someone's cologne or perfume runs out, you could say they're out of odor. When you get a good whiff that is pleasant to sniff, that's aroma. Now that's what I call pun sense. What did the dad say as he walked out of the lollipop store? So long, suckers. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I've been lollygagging enough as it is. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Ta-ta, Tootsie Rolls, see ya sugar, wish I could stick around. Now off to the dentist. What candle is the most dangerous in the world? John Wick. Oh boy, we're talking about the incredibly artful yet graphic hyper-violent film franchise John Wick, where he snuffs and torches all the bad guys. Away, children! Stay far, far away! Play with matches around that and it's your face that gets blown away. That being said, not many can hold a candle to an actor like Keanu Reeves. The man's a bright beacon, even in the darkest of roles. And folks have been known to melt in his presence. Now, what color would a John Wick candle be? Would it have a scent? Big candle or small? Wax poetic if you like, but don't spark any flame wars, okay? You hear about the rabbit who works at the local microbrewery? He's in charge of the hops. If there's a rabbit in charge, I'd say it's more like a microbrewery, but that might be splitting hairs. They're likely in the Lagermorph family. Pretty crafty bunnies. Double pun day Sunday, you get 2 for the price of pun. What do you call fake potatoes? Imitators. It may sound half-baked or like I have a chip on my shoulder, but one must be vigilant to root out the waffle fries from the awful lies. I'm just saying, keep your eyes peeled. Today I saw a line of rabbits hopping backwards. It was a receding hairline. If you told some of those rabbits to leave the line, would that be considered a haircut? Say it's a line of Angora bunnies waiting to get their fur trimmed. Now that would be a barbecue. That's all you get for now. Have a puntastic weekend. So, I heard that the local bakery burned down yesterday. Yep, the business is toast. Not often you hear a story like that. You know what they say, if you can't stand the heat, find a fire extinguisher. That being said, the timing for this bread-based joke is pretty crummy. Why, you might ask? I'm observing Passover. To those who also celebrate, Chag Sameach and enjoy lots of matzah. To everyone else, please do not offer your Jewish friends baked goods, even to get a rise out of them. Just wait another week. Trust me. I don't do my own taxes. I'm just not into it. The one time, since New Year's, the one time that this dad joke calendar has appropriate for the day of the year, and it's tax day. Not Valentine's, not St. Patty's, not even April Fool's, but tax day. I'd file a complaint, but I've got to give it some credit. Can't write it off after all. I'm in rare form today. My husband told me I would never advance in my career because I procrastinate so much. Just you wait, I said. Being somebody with feet-dragging experience, I'd hold off on calling them lazy. Actually, it reminds me of a procrastination joke that would be perfect for this occasion. But you know, never mind, I'll tell it later. What did the cactus wear to his job interview? A cacti. Say, looking pretty sharp there. Not bad. In job interviews, it's common to get needled with questions. Hopefully this cactus gets right to the point with their answers, otherwise they're in a prickle. If there's one thing in the world that always gives me butterflies, it's caterpillars. Honestly, I larva these kind of jokes. Because when you think about it, this joke could be saying one or two things at the same time. First of all, caterpillars usually grow up into butterflies, if not moths. But also, caterpillars might make some people nervous, anxious, or excited, who knows? Makes me think of how I normally introduce myself to people. I say, "Hi, I'm Annette. I'm what you catch a butterfly with." That usually makes people laugh, which is nice, because it's hard to come up with a good butterfly joke. I usually wing it. Happy Double Pun Day Sunday and a happy Easter if you celebrate. Don't get too excited. Neither of today's dad jokes are very funny. When the guitar player moved into a new house, he had all the locks replaced. It was a keychain. I wonder if it needed major renovation or some minor fixes. Either way, hopefully no strings attached, am I right? I got an email saying that Google Maps can read maps backwards. It's obviously spam. Why would anybody even want to read maps backwards? When I think of reading backwards, I imagine holding a mirror up. Something to reflect on? That's all you get for now. Hope you're having fun wherever you are this weekend. Vikings aren't the best companions to get drinks with. They're mediocre. I've actually worked at a Viking encampment the last few Novembers in Sarasota, and there's no way I'd say anything bad about them. One of them was actually full of the best dad jokes. He was low-key my hero. He'd tell jokes like, "What do you call a Viking who gets reincarnated? Born again." And what do you call a Viking that's also a vampire? Nosferatu. My personal favorite was, what do you call a Viking who doesn't eat any meat or animal products? Norwegian. I should reach out later just to say I'm thinking of him. Send him a message via Norse code.
Son, I have something to tell you, but it hurts me to say it.
Oh my gosh, what is it, Dad?
I have a sore throat.
This joke is funny because it reminds me of the humble origins of this very channel. The first Bright Idea mascot was in fact a little horse. Well, unicorn, but I digress. On the 24th, I'm actually celebrating 10 years of Bright Idea. A puniversary, if you will. It's so amazing thinking of how much I've done and grown, and just thinking about it is getting me a little choked up. Thanks for watching, and y'all take care of yourselves. I spent $500 on a limo for my daughter's prom night, and it didn't even come with a limo driver. All that money spent and nothing to show for it. Well, well, if it isn't those self-driving limousines I've heard so much about. Four-wheel, though, part of the fun of being in a luxurious car is having somebody else drive you. Wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say if your limo service doesn't come with a driver, it's Cadillacin'. What time of day do parents change the most diapers? In the wee hours. In a way, that's kinda true for adults as well. Can't even count the number of times I've had to get up in the wee hours to use the toilet. Gee whiz. Now, I'm not a parent, but I imagine when you become one, you're in for the experience of a lifetime. This joke is great for little ones too young to potty. By the way, if you're watching this in a public bathroom, you're probably stalling for time. My son likes elevators. My daughter likes escalators. They are raised differently. That joke definitely got a rise out of me. This year in general has definitely had its ups and downs. If I've learned anything, though, it's that there's always a new level to get to, and that goes both ways. Hope you found this dad joke uplifting. Double pun day Sunday, you get two for the price of pun. What beverage did the Beatles request backstage at every concert? Lemonade. No. That's only the beverage that John would order. I imagine Paul would be partial to McCartinis, George would have a Harris soda, and Ringo would probably have drum punch. Though I'm sure all the Fab Four would appreciate a lovely spot of tea. Has anyone checked on Oklahoma recently? I want to make sure it's still okay. Makes me think how you could play with other states' abbreviations. If I took a selfie in Bangor, I'd say there's me in Maine. Go to Indianapolis, you're in Indiana. Or you could check out Oregon. It'd be hilarious if somebody's ma was from Massachusetts and their pa was from Pennsylvania. Say hi to Hawaii for me. That's all you get for now, so have a puntastic weekend. After his wedding, my brother called me the worst best man he'd ever seen. I was speechless. Hey, not many folks have an easy time speaking in public, let alone at a wedding. I wonder if the speechlessness comes from them being so woefully unprepared that they ended up not saying anything? Or they just didn't have anything pre-written, so they spoke off the cuff. Either way, clearly there's room for improvement. In other news, you're watching my 100th Daily Dad Joke of 2025. If you're a fellow word nerd, check out my Pun Lovers playlist to check out videos I made years before I started this wacky pundertaking. And if you stick around, I promise to continue giving 100% with these jokes. Dad, I was tackled at football practice today and got the wind knocked out of me. Ah, sounds breathtaking. See, this is a great example of what not to do as a parent. Looks like it's time for another PSA. Punny surprise advice, that is. When a kid comes to you with a potentially serious injury, don't treat it like some silly gag, treat the situation seriously. In other words, don't let a choking hazard become a joking hazard. The more you know. What do you call a loaf of sourdough at the zoo? Bred in captivity. Honestly, sounds like a crummy zoo. But at Yeast, they're breducating the public. That's a starter. Sorry, there's barely enough material to work with. Stale as that dad joke is, I'm excited. 'Cause guess what? It's gonna be May. Thanks to my twin sister Bettina for helping me out with not just the April Fool's prank this year, which by the way was absolutely brilliant and great fun, but for assisting me with the editing for this compilation as well. Thanks to her, video production has become much smoother and less stressful, at least while she's still able to balance working on her own YouTube channel, which you should absolutely check out. Starting in May, I've decided to expand to other platforms as well as YouTube, so if you have friends on TikTok or Instagram, my official accounts there are @brightidea_dailypuns and @brightidea91 respectively. Share daily dad jokes with fellow word nerds and pun lovers, and recommend that they subscribe for more, wait for it, bright ideas. Until next time, see you later.